It was a rainy Thursday night in a small town nobody had heard of, the kind of place where the streets emptied by 8 p.m. and the sound of raindrops on tin roofs was louder than passing cars. Under the dim light of a flickering street lamp, a young man named Eli Turner stood clutching a battered old guitar. His coat was too thin for the weather, his sneakers worn through at the toes, but his eyes, they had the quiet determination of someone who still believed in miracles. For 3 years, Eli had been singing on street corners. Not because he dreamed of fame, but because music was the only thing that kept him afloat after losing his parents in a car accident. He worked odd jobs, stocking shelves, cleaning diner floors, but the guitar was his anchor, his way of speaking to a world that often felt too busy to listen. That night, most people hurried past him, shielding themselves from the rain. But one person stopped. A young woman named Claire, a struggling videographer on her way home from filming an unpaid gig. She almost walked by, but something in Eli's voice made her pause. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't polished. But it was raw and full of a kind of pain and beauty that couldn't be faked. She stood there for the entire song. The lyrics spoke of loss, of holding on when the world was crumbling, and of the fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, someone out there cared. Claire felt her chest tighten. She knew this moment wasn't meant to be forgotten. Without asking, she pulled out her camera and began recording. Eli noticed her but kept playing, eyes closed, lost in the music. By the time the song ended, Claire's hands were shaking, not from the cold, but from the feeling that she had just captured something extraordinary. "Do you mind if I post this?" she asked. Eli shrugged. "I don't care. Probably no one will watch it." Claire smiled. "You might be surprised." That night, she uploaded the video to her small YouTube channel, giving it a simple title, "Unknown Singer in the Rain." This gave me chills. She went to bed without thinking much of it. By morning, everything had changed. The video had exploded, first a few hundred views, then thousands, then millions. Comments poured in from every corner of the globe. People wrote about how Eli's song made them cry, how it reminded them of loved ones they had lost, how it gave them hope when they felt hopeless. Soldiers overseas, single mothers working 2 jobs, teenagers struggling with anxiety, people from all walks of life said his music made them feel less alone. News outlets picked up the story. TV shows wanted interviews. Record labels reached out. But Eli, bewildered by the sudden attention, wasn't interested in money or contracts. What touched him most were the messages from strangers saying his song had helped them through their darkest days. Then, something unexpected happened. Among the flood of emails, one stood out. It was from a man named Daniel, a firefighter from Chicago. He had been battling depression after losing 3 members of his crew in a warehouse fire. In his message, Daniel confessed that he had been thinking about ending his life, until he stumbled upon Eli's song in the middle of the night. "I don't know why I'm writing to you," Daniel wrote, "but your voice pulled me back from the edge. For the first time in months, I felt like someone understood my pain. Thank you for saving me." Eli sat staring at the email for a long time, tears blurring his vision. He realized something profound. The world was filled with people carrying invisible burdens, and sometimes a single voice could make them feel seen. So instead of signing a record deal, Eli made a different choice. He announced online that he would travel across the country, performing for free in hospitals, shelters, and community centers, anywhere people needed hope. He called it the Songs for Strangers tour. The response was overwhelming. Fans donated money to cover travel expenses. Musicians offered to join him. Communities organized events. And everywhere he went, people showed up, not to see a celebrity, but to be part of something bigger than themselves. One night, during a stop in a small cancer ward in Ohio, Eli played for a little girl named Mia. She was bald from chemotherapy, her tiny hands clutching a stuffed rabbit. As he sang, her eyes lit up, and for a few minutes, she forgot about the tubes and machines. Her mother wept quietly in the corner. After the performance, Mia whispered, "When I get better, I'm gonna play guitar just like you." That moment stayed with Eli more than any standing ovation ever could. Months later, when the tour ended, Eli returned home to the same quiet streets where it all began. But he was no longer the unknown singer in the rain. He had become a symbol of kindness, proof that one act of sharing, one video, one song, could ripple across the world in ways no one could predict. Claire, who had filmed that first rainy night performance, remained by his side. Together, they started a foundation that funded music programs in underprivileged schools, ensuring that children like Mia could find their own voice through music. In the end, Eli's story wasn't about fame or fortune. It was about connection, about how a single song, sung by a soaked young man on a street corner, could remind the world that we're all part of the same fragile, beautiful story. And somewhere out there, on a rainy night, another unknown singer might be strumming a guitar, not knowing that their voice could change someone's life forever.